Yo, what's up? John and Stangam here in the house. What's going on, John?
Friday. That's what it is. Another week done. Another.
Friday in the books. Man, what a week. I'm tired. What about you?
Yeah, I'm coming
I'm a
down.
little drained. A little drained
Little
today.
tired. Little disappointed. The market's closed tomorrow.
Yeah.
It is where it is. Can't play them all. Can't play
No.
them all. You gotta wait.
No.
You gotta wait for it. You gotta wait for that player to come to you.
Yep. That's just it right there. Gotta wait.
Yep.
Well, all right. I guess we're gonna try to do the monthly, weekly, and daily recap into one since we're kind of in the same area.
Yes, and we haven't changed our direction on this. We have not changed direction. We are actually exactly where we should be. We are really where we should be, and nothing has changed. Let's look at the chart on the yearly, starting off with the yearly chart to see what we were talking about before. Now, remember, I said price and time do take effect in this. Here goes price right here. When we came down here, I said this area right here is going to hold. This is price, and we got time underneath. And just like we said, coming into the first, we're going to see a movement up. And here it goes. Exactly on the 2nd of March, which is really first and then second, and boom, we get this big shoot up. Exactly what we expected, exactly what the market is supposed to be doing. Now you're gonna hear everywhere on Twitter land and YouTube saying that the market and the sky is falling. Apparently, we are supposed to be going like this. But
Yeah. Yeah.
that is not what the market that's not how the market makes money. And that is literally how the market makes money. From people thinking where price should be and where price actually is going. Um, like we said, this drop down here, they stood up here for a reason. They literally came down here for a reason, and they proved us right, I guess, possibly. We'll see what happens. We don't care really what happens on the yearly. I just like to reflect on this. We still do not have this action in right here. We do not have this. This is just a shoot up. We took out some days and some orders and some people's option plays right here, and they're really hurt. Uh, I'm sure on the way down to 200, a lot of people that were long for 6 months contracts, they probably took profit or whatever, or took a loss or broke even, and then the market said, okay, now it's time to move back up until March. While everybody's calling the market down, we are literally saying that the market's possibly going to go up, and here it goes. Let's get into the daily. Well, actually, let's do the weekly and knock it out. We're just gonna start on the 30 on the 30 minute.
That works. That works.
I have too much things on this chart. Hold on.
Yeah, I noticed somebody said today, man, I couldn't read your charts. You had so many daggone lines on the chart.
Yeah, well, I told him to avoid some of the stuff on there. Let me see if I got a clean chart
I tell you
here.
what, as much stuff as we watch, it's hard to keep a clean chart. That's why I have multiple charts with different things on them. So
Well, the thing with well, I'm gonna save
when
everything.
you're at work, you're on a laptop, so you're not able to do that.
Yeah, like I have other. So I have all. Let's get rid of everything. We don't need anything on our chart. But it clarifies the picture for us. That's all it does. That's all it does. It doesn't do anything else. It doesn't tell us when to go, when not to go. Okay, let's start off for because we've been in this really consolidating up and down, and we've been trading up and down. It doesn't really matter. Let's do the whole month. The month of February is done. We came to an end, and it was a short month, and it's literally did what we expected. Let's see. This is the beginning of February, and for as long as we can tell, I feel like we were at 4,200 for like 2 weeks, and then we dropped down 4,100 for 2 weeks, or at least a week and a half, and then we came down to for the rest of the month we came down to this 4,000 area, which we are above again. And we saw 12 again for like the 30th time. But now we're above 12, so let's remove all these lines as well. The best thing to remove all these lines is literally to go back and put them back on there so you can remember what they are. And I don't have a problem doing that. So that's the best way really to do things, to really redo them so you remember, are we here, are we there, and then really you know, helps you out. So let's remove all this. You can leave that there, I guess. Let's start. So we made our way down. We made 3 legs down completely. Started from the top, made our first leg, then we made a new low here, kind of right here, second, and then this was the 3rd leg down to the beginning of the month. The whole month of February been up and down, up and down. So they've been bringing it up, selling it at the highs, bringing it up and selling it at the highs. Then finally, coming into the end of the month, which I literally thought we were going to hold here with price, but we also thought that we might dip a little bit lower. We had some targets hit down here. They did hit, and eventually they held. Um, the reason they held is because of time. Time is very important. And if you see that we are literally at the lows of last month, and we're reclaiming those lows. So this is the low last month, right? Tippy low right here as well. And we dipped underneath into the first, and we popped above. So this is literally holding the lows, right? So if we hold the lows and we come above it, what's the possibility where we're going? We're going to halfback. And if we go to halfback, we get above halfback and hold it, we could go to the highs, which is scary. Not necessarily, but we'll trade it up that way anyway. At the beginning of this week, we started down. We kept popping up. Any pop-ups we had, they kept selling. So here, nice pop-up, they sold it. So we do high, low, halfback, failed. High, low, halfback, failed. Today was a different story. Today we did high, low, and look at us go above high halfback right here. So it's a different story today.
Yep.
I mean, yesterday was the different story when we broke structure right here. And then today was literally
Yep.
take out all this
the
liquidity.
High, low, halfback. This is exactly what we teach right here.
And we took out all this liquidity.
Got the uh-oh and the turn.
Yep. And that's why we kind of had this move, this gigantic move up. And we left a lot of things untouched to the top side. So now we're starting to go back to certain things and this little gap that we discussed halfway through the month on the yearly. I mean, yeah, on the yearly, we discussed this gap that happened. This is the holiday where they took it down more. And the holiday was about 2 weeks ago at the beginning of February or 2nd week of February. And now look at us come right back to it.
Yep.
So
and
how
think
they did
about
this.
It. These people are the only ones that got this price. They got all that.
Yep. And they knew it. So when the holiday came, you can literally see that they sold it, and now it's going back up there.
So more likely they're taking profit from down here. New month.
We also had other things down here. We had the 200 that, like we said yesterday, they literally try to hold it here, held here, bounced up, held it here, bounced up, held it here. And now the 200 is just a price, which is literally a representation of an area, right?
Area.
So around here, this changes price. But people were buying that 200. And what does the market do on this day right here on Thursday? As soon as it closed and it held, they dumped it. So all these people that are buying, got scared out.
Yep.
Creating a panic. Creating a panic until the end of Thursday. And then as soon as London's closed, we shot up. And then we know the squeeze was on because there was probably a lot of people, heavy short right here, talking about the sky is falling and so is the market. And so far, I don't see anything falling from the sky, and the market keeps on going up. So you can't listen to media. You can't listen to what people do on YouTube. You have to learn how to trade. And that's what we do here. We trade it for what it's doing, not what it could do. When I show the yearly chart, is to have an idea. Every time I show the yearly chart, there is a concept behind it. And it's the same concept we teach. High, low, halfback, go.
Yep.
And right now, at these prices and around this area, this is halfback. So it's literally saying that if we're not coming down, guess where we could possibly go? To the highs. Not saying it's going to happen, but the scenario is there. And that's why we start with the yearly. What else you want to cover, Dobbs? You want to cover today completely?
Yeah, I mean, we could talk about the play last night. You know, I only got a little piece. You know, I
Yeah,
posted in the room, you know, what little piece I got. If y'all look at that little piece I got and all that action I missed, you're like, daggum. But you know what? I don't care. All I need is
you
that
can take
little
your play
piece.
down. I missed this play. I think I was doing something during the time, and then I waited for the long. The long did develop here. There was a dump right here under our Asia range, and as soon as this happened, it literally, you know, at time right here, it started recovering. It started recovering our Asia range, and then it was a go. Here it hit targets. Here it into midnight and 1 a.m. It sold off, and it came right back into this area. From that area, London opened and said, we're not selling. When London says we're not selling, you better start buying.
Now, key takeaway: day before, London bought. Day before too. So if they bought yesterday and they're up, they're probably going to buy again.
Yeah, here go London right here at the lows, and they bought it up.
That's it. London at the lows.
Yep, and then at
So why would they be selling on the second day?
yeah, and at their close, they bought it up.
Yep.
And then into the close, they're running. You know, this they bought, so New York bought with them. Same scenario today. London bought and made it very obvious they bought. And then at the open, New York bought as well. So right here where New York opened, they bought as well. And then this candle on a 15 minutes, yeah,
Yep.
it's this candle was on a 15-minute that burst us to the top. We couldn't get above our certain range. Into London's close, they say, "Whoa, let's go," and it was
Try
go
to
time.
shake out, try to catch all them longs off guard, shake them out.
Yep. And then they started just squeezing. They squeezed into after London's closed, they squeezed a little bit higher, and they made it evident that that was going to keep on going to the highs.
They didn't let nobody out.
Mm-mm.
Think about it. They couldn't get out. If they did, they had to get out up there.
And they were afraid probably of getting out too quick, and this thing shoots up so high.
Yep. Yep.
So if you go on a yearly, people say I have too much things on my chart. If you go on a yearly and you look at this, what we end up doing? This candle right here was never tested at halfback, right? We swept the lows of it.
Yep.
Very deep down lows, but there was a reason to come down here. The possibility of sweeping the highs into that gap is it has a lot to do with it. So we could possibly go sweep that gap and probably go see this right here, this price.
Yep.
Whichever hits first. Right now, we're not looking for that as a target right now. We trade as daily, and possibly we have this going on. We're gonna have that going on possibly Sunday into Monday. And the reason for that is that we left a lot of stuff unhandled down there before we did this.
Right.
Next week,
and they probably got more orders down here. You know, this went up pretty good. Really didn't give a lot of entries.
Yeah, and that's
a lot of entries.
If you start looking at it on long, bigger time frames, this was literally a squeeze on a short time frame, and it was slow. It's not like they did a lot of points. It was very slow. So now it's got to go back and pick up a lot of these orders, because look at the 1 hour, straight up like a rocket. I mean, here it could literally come all the way back here, which I think this is the area that we think is possibly going to come back to, into this area. So we could possibly see this and then have.
I think definitely in this area.
Yeah, we're definitely
coming down in here somewhere.
Do we have to go all the way down there? No. Do we care about it? Absolutely not.
No.
We don't care where it goes, up or down. We're going to trade it for where it is, and then we just deal with it as it goes and take our 5 or 10 points. Like we said, 5 or 10 points. And we wait for the play to develop. We do not jump in plays. We do not chase plays. We don't anticipate moves. We wait for them to develop, and then we take our actions from there. It was a good week overall. I see a lot of people have been adapting to it and changing their ways and perspectives. Like I said, some of the members are trading now Asia, which is a great market to trade in. I just don't trade it because of time. I don't have the time to stay up that late, and I wake up really early.
Yep.
So it's hard to stay up late and trade that. But if you're able to trade Asia at night, I suggest that you do. London Open all the time. London will tell you a story, and then you know what 5 a.m. is going to do. So leading from that time frame into 7 a.m., great play. You got a great play from that time on. And London will tell you the story. Um, that's about it. We haven't changed anything that we do. Um,
Nope. Set up, set up, set up.
in fact, since January, we've been calling the bounce from this area down here. And it's doing it daily. So I don't know what other people do to trade. I looked at people's trading methods, and I look at people's YouTube to just to get an idea of what people are thinking. And the rest of the people are completely lost. So, but mostly because a lot of people do trade options, and when the market is headed in one direction, it is fairly easy to take an option and close out with even a small profit. Right now, people are getting chopped up in options. The daily options are really destroying the market at the open. I think if we didn't have daily options, we would have had a big move at the open period,
Oh, definitely,
like we
definitely.
used to have. Now with the
Yeah.
daily options, there is too many people at the open. Um, just I don't know.
Options is just, it's killed New York, man. New York
Yeah,
used to not be like this.
New York used to shoot up like 40 points at the open.
This the options is the end of day daily options expirations that they added has pretty much
They're called
killed it.
0 days. That's what they're called, 0 days, and
Yeah.
there's zero profit. 0 day with zero profit. You just can't win. You can't.
Yeah, I
Man,
don't
you
know
got to
now. I see a lot of people on Twitter and YouTube saying they're killing it. Zero DTE options.
I mean, if you had took a trade today and butterflied it or do both ways
Oh,
and
today, if you just bought calls, you were good.
yeah, but if you butterfly, you lose on one and it goes up, and you get your you get whatever the market whatever the market's range is, because
Yeah.
that's what they do. So they butterfly. They got to order down here, right? They got to order up here, right? So if the market moves 60 points or 40 points, they're taking that play up.
Uh-huh.
When they get killed is when the market does this down here and then pops back up, because their stop will be up here. It gets hit at the end of the day, and their long for the short will be down here somewhere. Like they're still in this play. They're still in this play trying to get money, trying to get money this way. And then when it comes up
Right.
here, they're hurt
Just
because
in the morning,
spread.
they're down here getting out because they're like, "Oh, I've lost. I'm getting out."
Yeah,
And then at the end of the day, it goes right back up above where they bought.
well, realistically, like if they had that spread, they're possibly closing this one out, so it isn't a huge loss when it's
Right.
coming down. They're thinking, oh, we're below the 200. It's gonna tank. It's gonna tank. So they're
Yep.
just
And
they're
they
just
close
like,
out the wrong side.
yeah, they close out the one side, and then the market pulls up, and they're like, what happened? So they lose on both, and they take a scratch. So that's the worst day for them. And I think that's what happened on this day right here. That a lot of people bought the 200, near 200. Everybody's buying. Well, at the end of the day, this day, everybody's buying into the close, and then boom. So all these orders get taken out right underneath the 200, and then coming into the end of the day, they're like, oh, I'm shorting because I'm below 200, and then the market does this. Boom. And then they lost on the move up because they thought it was going to bounce into the close. They're like, we're not going to close below. Boom. They lost there, and then they're losing on the short on this side when the market goes above the 200. And that's what I try to tell people on the chat the other day, that these 2 days options lost heavy because they were probably heavy on both directions. And if you went to any MSNBC, anything, everybody was the inflation numbers, the inflation numbers, the inflation numbers, the inflation. The feds. They're not going to stop. That's all they keep saying. So it's old news. The market already took that in consideration. There's nothing else the market could do. They already know that they're increasing interest rates. Can they do anything about it? Absolutely not. How would they make money on something that's already happened? They can't. The only way they can make money is when they use it against people. And that's literally what they're doing. They're using that against people to sell and to buy. So, and they're doing the opposite. Whatever the media tells you and whatever people think, it's literally doing the opposite. Because that is how they make money. They don't make money on something that doesn't represent anything. This is just up and down action, and that's all it is. It's a chart with numbers on it, and all we do is trade it. All right, Dobbs, that's about it for that monthly right there. I mean, we did the monthly, the weekly.
Yeah, I just want to give some shout outs. I'm going over the daily profits in the room. Looks like Unstoppable last night. She killed it. She played oil last night. She killed it. Killed it.
Somebody asked me about oil, and I said, "Yeah, you could trade this on oil."
Yeah, it's clean.
Let's take a look at oil real quick. Let's see, because I told him, I said you could trade it. It's very
It's clean, but if it goes a direction though and sets its direction, it's going.
Oh, this is the play I put for somebody yesterday. I said it's probably going to come back to halfback right here. Look, that's the London close range right there.
She shorted it.
Yeah, that's what it was. Look.
Last night, you on the wrong day.
Yeah, but watch, I'm gonna show you something because I did this the other day. Hold on.
She shorted London open, so this is the move she got right here.
So right there, we couldn't get above this range. We waked up here, and it was sidelining, and we didn't get it anywhere higher. And let's see.
And there's your London open right there.
Let's see how London open looks. Boom, right here. Ouch. And really, this looks like it placed 3 days back. So it didn't really move upward at all. Here it did at the end of the day, but
yeah.
You know where it went? It went right back to London's close. That's all it did. It went to London's close.
Yeah.
Nobody's something.
Yeah.
That's what they went back to London's close.
That was the buy right there.
Yeah. Yep, that's all it did. It swang one side, went to the other side. Just went to get some liquidity.
She killed it. She killed it. Shout out to Paul. He killed it this morning.
Yeah, he said I only have to trade New York.
Yeah. He said Friday all out and done. No need for New York craziness.
Yeah, and that's why I told everybody this week. I said I trade New York because that's my time. So yeah, that's what I trade. So I'm accustomed to it. The madness and everything. You hear me calling trades all day. The plays all day. I don't change anything from what I do.
No, we don't change. We do the same thing. We've been doing the same thing for a while.
Mm-hmm. And I might be shorting. I think I shorted a little bit at 1300, but it was like a small short, and I did get out before that move up. Right here, I think I was this candle shorting. When it dipped down here, I exited right here. I haven't told you, I'm exiting right there. And then I was like, well, can't get above. And then as soon as it broke, I put the chart up. I said, well, we're going up the other way. I got my money and I was out 5 points. That's all it is, 5 or 10 points. It was a good play in the close. It was a great play into London's close. London's close was very easy. We had direction for it. We had a target at 29.
Yeah, it just went. It didn't even sweep London close candle.
That thing just held and said, I'm going. Come with me. And I mean,
saying we want 401k.
Yeah, and everything worked out at London's close that I said prior to that. I said, well, New York's going to take it up. We're going to close above 17. Just wait for it. And after London's close, you got yourself you could have got 5 to 20 points, I think, in London's close. It was a giver. It was giving out checks on a Friday. What it wasn't was a short. Now this is an hour chart, and look at this. You could have took a play anywhere in here and got money. Let's look at let's go to 4 hour and see how it looks on a 4 hour.
See, a day like today, somebody that don't have a lot of knowledge, they probably made money today. Think they killed it.
Yeah, look at a 5 minute. 5 minute, you could let's look at some entries on a 5 minute on New York, just New York itself. Well, let's see. After the madness at the open, right? Let's take the scenario that how we teach. Let's do a scenario how we teach. This is the lows, right? This will be, I guess, halfback, right?
Yeah.
And the highs. Are we above halfback here? Yeah. Where are we going? Up here, right? Okay. High, right? Low. Right? What's this? Halfback. So if you do trade on a small time frame, you got to take that into consideration right now. And look what time it is. London's closed, right? Let's keep on doing it. Let's see. Is there another play here? So I'll be a low. I mean, this one is kind of iffy right here for
it's still the play.
It's still legit. I mean, it's still legit right there. You could have got halfback and not just like, oh, I have an order there. But after you see this and you start seeing movement up like this is a long. And this is after 1300. So you do have a play. So you could go take it up to the highs. Boom. Nice little target. Same thing here. High, low. Well, it's kind of short.
I think that's where you entered right there on that wick coming back to stinging line.
On these plays, yeah.
I think right in there somewhere.
Yeah, and it hit target instantly because that's exactly where I exited, you mean? Because I was shorting this right here.
Yeah.
I was shorting above 38, like you see right here. So anytime it went above 38, I just had orders there. And I had orders at a certain price. So anything above, it was just catching me. I was like, good. Catch me. As it was coming down, I start taking profit. Now you could do that, but you have to be a seasoned trader to do it.
Right.
So, you have to have your orders and start taking profit on the way down, It literally wicked here to our Stingham line, and I was all out because I was already in here. I was taking profit, but I'm above here and I'm exiting here. Now on the chart, it doesn't look like that much, but if you take it perfectly, and that's what everybody should practice. That's why we say practice on minis. Do it on minis.
Yep, MES only.
Yes, because when you start doing this on ES, you're gonna take orders that you're trying to fix issues that you have entering plays. So if you could get orders where they're supposed to be, even like I think the doc says, he's like, even if you're wrong on direction, you're still gonna get 5 or 10 points. So 38, what was the lowest candle? 34, like right there. I was at 34.25. Well, not 34. Yeah, 34.25. That's where Stingham line hit. And sometimes, like I'll tell you what, I take orders off and I exit before that target sometimes because I know that this is still what is the whole move for the day. We just showed the 1 hour on an upward move. But as soon as it broke and I put up a chart, I had it like this, nice and clean, right? As soon as it broke and we started trading above that 38, I was in. Here I'm in the same amount as I'm over here. So I got plays down here and I got plays up here. I got a bigger play here because it hit I only took it to our first target, and I was good with that because of where price was at.
Because we're at the highs, so we don't want to be chasing.
Yeah, I don't want to chase, and I want to be cautious, especially.
And they could drop it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, especially at the end of the day. If you remember, after 1300, these people that bought and they looked good up here, right here, after 1300, boom.
See, they could have done that today.
Right here, they were buying it up after 1300, boom. So the concept of it happening is there. So you're cautious of that. You're very cautious of that. When it turns to the top side, though, your first target is, okay, I gotta get out of here. We're kind of in nowhere land right here. This could turn anytime. We left a lot of things unhandled at the bottom side. Like I showed you, that 1 hour looks it looks very unhandled here. Everything here looks very untouched.
Suspect.
So it looks very. Let's look at this. Look how this chart looks. How we trade.
They wanted price up there. That's what it means. Yeah. And they were going to get it there.
Look, boom, boom.
And that doesn't necessarily mean that people were in it and buying it. They're just moving it. They're moving the price ladder.
We're moving to a month where the contracts roll over. So it's kind of, you know, in tune with that, the fact that price is going up like this, and the price action. So they don't want to get too out of control. So it goes very slow. If it got out of control, I mean, look how we trade, and look at all the stuff that is unhandled here. It doesn't look very healthy, this move. But in the chart, how we trade, I think somebody said, oh, we might come down. And I said, oh, no. I only trade what's on the chart. And then if it tells me, if I start getting little clues, little keys that I put out there.
Go ask them how that worked out today. Market went going to go down.
Yeah, and I said it. I said, no, we don't do that.
And retail, I guarantee you, retail mentality out there today was market's going to go down. Yeah, and that's why they kept squeezing, because I guarantee they kept shorting it.
Definitely, and it's a Friday, and I say, well, it's Friday. It could just keep on squeezing from yesterday. Yesterday was a squeeze. Why wouldn't it squeeze today? I did say that if the possibility of us rejecting a certain price, we would come down. But there's no guarantee in that. You know, all I could do is I can't predict the future. I could just wait and just play out my play. But if you wait, and literally if you waited from New York Open, there was a good short, there was a good long, and I took a little scalp at the Open because it showed me that it was going to do it. But let's see the Open right here. This little play right here, this right here, I was in on this candle and I took 5 or 10 points. This was a big move when it came down here and it hit our down target, because at the Open, it hit our down target. Where there's the Open, it came open, hit our down target. We needed to pull back.
Yep.
And then it popped back up, and then it does this again. If we're not breaking that down target, what's the possibility we're going to break the high? Because what is that concept? What is that concept? That concept is, well, let's do it like this, because we did go up to that high. High, low, half back. So when I'm long here, it's the same concept. So if I'm long if I'm looking at this candle like this, and I'm looking at, well, this is going to probably pop up, I'm going to take that little play. Definitely going to take that play. If it gets down here, I'm out. If it gets there again, well, boy, there it goes again. If it goes right there, I'm out. But there was a lot of things telling us not to sell this. And it popped right above our range, our open range right here. And it came right back down. So, no, actually here, it was already holding above the open range. Yeah, right here, it held the open range. It held a lot of things up here. The 7 a.m. range.
And it had low, high,
that was another thing.
half back. I mean,
and usually, so this play, without these day options, this right here and this candle would have been like this on a regular. But with these daily options, these 0-day options, look what it did. It had to squeeze these people out. In fact, until this move, actually, the daily options are slowing the market from moving. So they're slowing volatility. That's why the VIX, people say, oh, the VIX is broken. Okay. But so what do I say? I say, wait for a market to close. Right there's a market close, right? Right. After that market close, look at all the price action. Just look at the price action after that market closes. So this candle is telling you something. And this nonsense here is options. Once you get a market close, you have less options in it. And where this close was very important. This right here, we've been talking about it in the videos, where it should have closed. If we were closing at 12, at this dreaded 12, I would have been like, nah, So this was not going to happen. I knew this. I'm going to wait for London's close, because London closes at 12. We're going to have this movement. That's what we would have had, because that dreaded 12 knocked the market down every time London closed. London will close under 12, pop back up over 12, sold off. And after those options closed out, after the, like certain amount of options close out, look how the market can move. So if you take this little area away, you see that this candle is connected to this halfback. Literally close enough, but
it's pretty close.
Let's see if it comes down to it.
If you put fib on that candle, I think
I think
probably halfback. Yeah,
London closed. Yep, look,
halfback.
So you got to understand that at the open, it showed you a sign. London's close said, hey, we're still trying to get price up, but all these options are stopping us from moving. And that's how I relay that. So when I say, hey, we got to close above 17, it's not a price for me. It's what I see in the chart. So it is kind of a price, but you could literally relay to what it's doing. And that's how you want to look at the market. You don't want to look at the market as price. Well, when I saw it, I said, oh, wait until it closes above. So
and time. Time was what was key.
Yeah,
where it closed at time.
Yeah. And me eyeing it, I say, well, if we close above 17, everything worked out once we closed above 17. So above 17, there was a lot of things here. And then just seeing that right there, what they did right here on this candle, I said, well, we close above 17, this thing gonna move. And I said they could squeeze, somebody say, oh, we could come down and we're gonna do the same thing we did.
They try to take everybody out as much as they could right there. Both sides. Because you can see it on the wick. Little body.
Yeah, they
wicks on both sides.
And that's why, like, I take those, if I'm selling at the open, I'm taking profit down there. And this today, I wasn't leaving a runner because I saw what they were doing. I said, oh, the reports came in and price did not move. So that's one key that you got to use. You got to be like, well, if they didn't move it, that means they ain't selling it. When they move it, you better believe they're selling the market, because it's going to be a spike in volume in the opposite direction. And that's why price moves up the way it does. No matter what you're doing and you're getting an order in there, somebody's buying, somebody's selling. So when something bad happens and price spikes up, that usually means they're shorting, because there's more to one side than the other. Remember, if you're selling, somebody's buying. You know what I mean? So it's always a buy in the market. So when price goes up, it's really a sell. Reports come out and it doesn't move, it's dangerous. It did it yesterday, did it today. Price didn't move at all. That means that those reports didn't matter at all. That means that the market was able to continue to do what it should be doing. Now remember, when those prices come out and they spike it, what do we usually do? We return back to that price. And it's just a delay of what it's going to do anyway. That's all it does. It will return to the price, and then it'll continue the trend.
Take everybody out. Think about it. They try to take everybody out, both sides.
So do you have to trade the reports? Absolutely not. Just wait until it's done. If price doesn't move, more likely it's not going to do anything. It's going to continue the trend that it was. So today,
we don't recommend trading through the reports. We don't believe in news because we know what they're doing. So the chart's going to do what it's going to do regardless.
It's always going to return back to that price. If it's meant to come down, it'll come right back to the price. So a lot of people will be selling the lows, and what they're doing, they're buying to get price back up there so they can sell it. If it's going up, it does the opposite. It'll come back down, pick up everybody, and then try to make the move back up. Now, if it doesn't, there's something else up. And I think that was the Fed meeting that did that it went up, stood up at the high, and they brought it right down. But there was other issues with that. They were exactly doing what we've been saying. They're buying time. So they knew price was supposed to come down, so they send it up. They send it up because they wanted it at time at a certain area. And right now, like I said, we trade time.
Prop it up, prop the market up.
And like I said, right now we trade time. And if you look at the yearly, we don't trade price. So right here, you got a lot of people selling into this 50%, right? And then maybe they're holding, and then you got a lot of people, their stops being taken out, right, for a long. And then you got all these people still holding on to their sell because everybody's saying it's a sell. And now you have what? You have a squeeze. So that's literally what the market tries to do. There's no rhyme or reason for it. All we do is trade the chart. But this is literally what they do. Like I said, there's no representation in this. It's all a game, an illusion of your mind.
Well,
that's about it, Dobbs.
Yeah.
Another great week. I hope everybody had a good time. For the new members, I suggest you upgrade. We're starting to get a little bit busier, and the videos are there to set up the proper way. There's a lot of info on those videos. I suggest you spend some time in the shower, in the car, just listen to them, and just refer back to them. Go ahead, Dobbs. Do it.
Yep. All right. So we end the video. We'll go to the risk and disclosures, and we'll see everybody Sunday night.
Cause so many times pass by. Don't know why I'm losing my mind. Ego was so strong inside. At this point I just live the lie. I just live the lie. I wish I could tell you why. I wish I could feel you again, but I know it's too late, and I know you're away. There's a chance to apologize. No, no, no. It's a goodbye, just a goodbye. Forever and ever, you never come back. Just a goodbye, forever goodbye. I sit in my ride, thinking about you. Drive through the night, I got nothing to lose. Strobe city lights, they can tell me the truth. Tell me what I should do, I got nothing to lose. I got nothing to lose, thinking about you. Drive through the night, I got nothing to lose. Strobe city lights, they can tell me the truth. Tell me what I should do, I got nothing to lose. I sit in my so many times passed by. I saw you last time. This is my last ride. I wish we're gonna see us on the other side.